Welcome back to Open Your Eyes. We are moving things along on a lighter note, actually. It's summertime, and I know that most family members are trying to find the perfect programs to fit their children into. Well, the NICH is introducing their Summer Arts Immersive program this 2025. We are joined by Kim Vasquez. She is the director of the Institute of Creative Arts. Also here with her is Zaidi Veos, and she's the coordinator representing the Korzal House of Culture, as well as Warisi Eligio, the coordinator representing the Dangriga House of Culture. Ladies, thank you so much for joining us, and welcome.
Yes.
You know, having your faces here to me is like, all right, so am I really to start now? You know, we have Miss Kim here. She's the official face of the arts, and of course we know that there are many families and children looking forward to summer this year from NICH. Let's begin there. What are the programs like?
Well, we have this thing called immersive, and everybody asks, what does that mean when we say Summer Arts Immersive? So for us, this is an annual program between the Institute of Creative Arts and another institute of NICH, the Museum and Houses of Culture. And immersive really means that these programs have two features. One, they are longer. This is not a 2-day summer camp or a 3-day summer camp.
I think the kids will love that already.
They go for a little bit longer.
Okay.
And they are highly innovative. They foster a lot of creative expression and imagination, but it is paired with practical and hands-on learning in the creative arts, and in the cases of the houses of culture, in science, in tech, because they are more broader based at the houses of culture as well. And it's also a way for us to decentralize, because with the Institute of Creative Arts, we also have partner programs. So we have partners in the districts, partners in Belmopan, for example, to ensure that we have the immersive across the country.
Yes.
And that there are things happening for youths as young as 5 all the way up until the teens. And that's what we've done this year. We have expanded the program to, at least for the Institute of Creative Arts, to engage older youths in things we find that might be interesting to them.
And times are changing. They like different things now.
Indeed, yes.
You know, one of the things I wanted to take a look at, Ms. Kim, is how, the program has evolved over the years.
Yes.
But when we look in particular from last year to this year, what was the success of last year?
Well, it was for us the rebuilding. You know, we've been rebranding and revising and revamping the program, and the whole immersive concept was really a revival, but also a revamp of what we have always done. We've always had at the Houses of Culture, at the Bliss Center for the Performing Arts, summer arts activities, but we wanted to make them richer. And yes, we have seen that we are having good participation, and I think this is because we offer such a variety. And we know that there are a lot of things happening across the community, but what the Summer Arts Immersive really does, and I think really sets it apart, is that the content of the learning is really so much within the creative arts spectrum. You're looking at things like you know, the theater arts. You're looking at things like theater tech for teens, learning how to stage
They're really getting the fundamentals.
They're getting the fundamentals, yes. And as I said, it's structured learning. So you look at a program like Steel Pan, for example. We could easily have brought them together and say, we will just teach you to play Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, and you come away with that. But it's more than that. They're getting that, yes, they're learning to play pan, but also music theory. So again, that's what we're saying. They're getting solid learning in the performing arts, as well as other areas of culture, science, technology as well.
I think it cannot go without saying the importance that all of the House of Cultures across the country play in supporting.
Yes, they all
NICH.
have, and these ladies will tell you they all have their schedule of activities.
Let's speak to that, because there are kids all over the country that want to take part in summer programs, and they want to be immersive as well. Let's begin with you, Ms. Eligio.
So I am the coordinator for this Dangriga House of Culture, and a lot of people still don't know that Stann Creek have a House of Culture again because of the pandemic.
Yes.
So I am the new face for the Stann Creek House of Culture. And I have 3 programs that will be visual arts. I have traditional music and dance and science tech. And I am catering for kids from ages 8 to 14. And if you're a little older, I can still work at that too. And my program will run from the 7th to 11th, that will be the visual arts. Then the traditional music and dance, that will go from the 14th to the 22nd. Then the science tech will run from the 23rd to the 30th.
When you say visual arts, you mean what? Painting,
Yes,
drawing?
painting, creative structure, like arts and crafts.
Okay.
And traditional music and dance, that will be like the drumming, the singing, the abe mahane, the aru mahane, and science tech will be like gardening and recycling.
So who can attend?
Like kids
Yeah.
from ages 8 to 14, and like I mentioned earlier, if you're a little older, and you decide which program you wish to take. You can take all 3, or you decide which one you want to take.
This is free of cost as well?
There is a stipend for it. It will be $10 per program, $10 Belize per program.
What
I mean, come on.
yeah, right? And what do you hope the kids can live with in general?
Well, I'm hoping that the kids will learn a lot early with a lot of knowledge, especially when it comes to Dangriga, refer to Dangriga as the culture capital.
Yes.
And most of our children don't have that foundation at home when it comes to the language, when it comes to their history on a whole, they don't know it. So going to the program, you will be learning a little bit about everything.
One of the things I appreciate is that the cultures are different. There's unique identities where cultures are concerned across the various districts. So what culture looks like in Dangriga
Is how it-
won't look the same
In Corozal.
right? So talk
But
a
that's
bit
a beautiful
about,
thing too,
of
though.
course,
Yeah.
how do you navigate now speaking to immersing children in culture in Corozal, sorry.
Okay, well, as mentioned, I'm the coordinator for the Corozal House of Culture. I think when it comes to navigating the different cultures, we are a melting pot.
Yeah.
So particularly in Corozal, we do have communities that cater to both, you would say, the mestizo culture, but we also have a community that does the Garifuna culture. So speaking about intertwining all of these cultures, I believe we have done a really good job in setting programs that can cater to each one of them, and inviting a person who is of mestizo culture to come and do something that's in the Garifuna culture. And that is actually the entire point of the houses of culture. We're there to promote, to preserve, and to actually cater for all cultures. So when it comes to the Summer Immersive program for Corozal, we have worked, all houses of cultures are working with 4 domains, which would be the visual arts as mentioned, the science and tech, the traditional culture and music, and also the expressive arts. So particularly for us, visual arts, we're looking into painting, the sketching, the fundamentals of and basics of that, and also the mixing of colors. When it comes to the traditional culture and music, we are tapping into the drums. So this, for our summer camp, we're teaching how to play the drums, and we are also teaching the kids how to play the recorder. We chose the recorder because we tend to see that a lot of students that are going into college, the
To high
music,
school,
yeah,
they
to
use
high
that.
school, the music program is very much more seen. So we're giving them the fundamentals of that. And then when it comes to the science and tech, we've partnered up with the Ministry of Education, the Science Ministry actually. We're doing the coding and flying. So we're using our now brand new use spaces over the country to now get the kids into robotics and Legos and all of that building, which I believe is very immersive.
Yeah.
And expressive arts, well, we can't go wrong with dancing. I think everybody loves dancing and music. So I think for all houses of cultures, it's very important that we invite the public to visit their own districts and see what everyone has to cater for.
In your view, where does culture and science and technology intersect? Do you see an intersection?
We do. Actually, in the science and tech field where we have our use spaces, we now have what is the People's Archive. So basically, this archive is where, like, let's say you have a old image of your grandfather or a simple image of someone buying at a particular store that is very known here in Belize City. You take that image and you can actually take it to the houses of culture and you scan it, you upload it up in the website, and you can have you as the person providing that picture, the location, when it was taken,
Oh, that's so interesting.
and a brief description of what is happening in that image. After that, like let's say Miss Warisi, who is in Dangriga, she can go to the website of the People's Archive and she can say, okay, oh, this is a picture of Belize City. We can see who took it, where you took it, at what time you took it.
Yeah.
So it intertwines, because now that we have opened the use spaces for that, you see that a lot of people are uploading pictures of maybe cane farmers. I myself, when we opened our House of Culture, I uploaded a image that was taken, I believe, in the 1800s of my grandma, my great grandma.
Yeah.
So that's on the People's Archive. So
and
we,
hopefully decades, half a century from now, people will
Yes.
have us
And
and
the-
part of that
No, go
archive.
ahead.
yeah, and the thing is that it's accessible to everyone.
Yeah.
So you can do it, anyone can do it. And it's just a way of bringing history up to tech. Everything is tech now.
Yeah.
So we have to try to navigate and see how we can reach the other audiences, the kids, you know. And with TikTok being famous and Instagram, we try to navigate and see how we can tap into all of those things.
Well, I'm super glad I asked that question because you were wholly prepared to answer
Yeah.
it, right?
But
And
it's
now
an
we
important
can-
question, because what you're really touching at is the A in STEAM. And too often, the A, takan, we say we want STEAM. But it's always, yes, you know, the science, the tech, and arts and craft. And then you ask an important a question there, Paul. What is the application to science and tech? And that is where we need to do better, and I think that's what the immersive is trying to do, trying to show how the arts really apply to science and tech. Because yes, what you're thinking of is not just an activity, but what it does. Because that creative thinking and that creative expression is linked to science and tech and will enhance those two areas. But we don't immediately think that way. We think that, oh, okay, we want to have the A in STEM, we want to have this STEAM, so let's add on arts and craft. Not really appreciating the integration. So when you come to Summer Arts Immersive, yes, you are learning. Even when you look at something like the digital storytelling lab that the Bliss Video Unit will do, again, that's the application right there, because yes, you are learning to edit videos with to make documentaries with your mobile phone and CapCut and everything. And you might say, okay, that is just tech, you know, but now you have the integration of capturing cultural stories and making their own little mini documentary. And that is where they have to think creatively as well. And that's the integration there.
Fantastic. Ms. Veos, what's the age group of your programs?
So each age group, we're catering from 5 years old up to 17 years old. So each program has their own age range, but we really are trying to involve everyone, especially the students.
Yes, and it's
So-
as well only $10 for each program?
Each program costs $10. I think one of them, the most, was $25, just because of material and supply. But that is the range of price.
Well, it's fantastic that we're able to see that there are programs available throughout the entire country.
Right.
And we know that here in Belize City, the main hub is where
Exactly.
kids will be
Yes.
rushing to the Bliss this summer as well. What can we expect there?
Well, we have a good friend returning. Her name is Raquel Robles Pacheco, known in Belize as Payasita Raquelin. And she has come in the past before, and
Where's she
she's
from?
back. She's from Hermosillo, Mexico, and she is a renowned puppet master.
Ooh.
She's also specializes in children's theater. This is the theater where your audience is children. And so she is able to work with them in a story theater environment and teach puppet making, how to make costumes for the stage, and also the application, because again, it's not just to make the mask and say, okay, here is something you know they're going to see, because they are making the ones that are doing the mask making are preparing the mask for the production. So again, they see the practical application of what they're doing. So she will be doing puppetry and theater, story theater, as well as costume design.
Oh, that's fantastic. And when does that begin?
That begins the 7th.
The 7th?
Yes.
And it runs through how long?
All the way to the 25th.
Okay.
Right.
So,
yes.
so there's different times for each one of these
There's
districts?
different times, and there is, like I said, there's so much happening. We
Yeah,
also
I'm
have
getting
Steel
that.
Pan. Steel Pan is a Bliss Center initiative, but it will be over at the Wesley Music Room, because that's a new partnership we're establishing with them. And so it will be over at the Wesley Music Room. We also have the digital storytelling lab that is for older children that starts the 14th and runs for 2 weeks. And again, that's making mini documentaries with their phone. Sorry. And we also have Theater Tech for Teens. And that one is very hands-on. They're literally going to be shadowing the technical team at the Bliss. That's Leon, Alex, Kieran. So that's our stage hand, our light tech.
We need
our
new
art
generation tech.
We need
Yeah.
new techs,
Yeah.
right? Who is
Not only in theater,
who is going
in
to be
media.
behind the cameras, right?
Yes.
Who is going to be doing the lights and setting up things? So we need them to get that hands-on experience. And again, it's not just theory. There's 2 live experiences where they will shadow a show. Next thing you know, then they work KTV.
You know what, Miss Kim? You are onto something. But how quickly are these spaces going? Because I know that you have to have a cap on the amount of kids.
We have limited spaces indeed for some of them. And so that's what I think the takeaway is. Sign up. Reach out to your House of Culture in your district. Reach out to the Bliss Center. We're more than happy to go over the programs, to answer questions, and to get your child or your teen enrolled.
Yes.
So how
And
can,
each,
go ahead.
each houses of culture have their own flyer, and on that flyer we have a QR code for you to just scan, and then you automatically sign up. And if you're not inclined with technology now, like for example from my House of Culture, you can always shoot me a message or send me a text.
You can stop by as well?
You can, and you can send me a text, and I can fill it out for you with
What's
your
your number?
information. My number is 650-8539.
All right. And then for the Bliss, how do we sign up?
You can come by the Bliss, you can WhatsApp us, you can message the page, you can wave to us in the street. We are very accessible.
Yes.
Like I said, we're right there at the Bliss. You can call us at 227-2110. And remember, these ladies, one is from Dangriga, the other one is from Corozal, but we have our other houses of culture.
We couldn't get all the districts on the couch, guys.
Orange Walk.
Oh, we got Orange Walk, Banquitas, we have Cise, we have Benke. So, and we have Art Shack, who is a partner of ICA in Belmopan. So again, all of those places have Summer Arts Immersive programs. Find out and get your teen or your child enrolled.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
And we can't forget about the National Institute of Culture and History, NICH, and the Museum of Belize.
all right.
So,
Well, ladies, this has been a wonderful conversation. I know you'll definitely be hearing from me. I have some nieces and nephews that gotta get somewhere this summer. And so I also encourage you guys to check out your local houses of culture. And also, even if you're in Belize City, go to the Bliss and find out how you can get your children immersed in culture and, of course, science and technology as well. It's been a pleasure, ladies.
Thank
but we
you
do
so
got to
much.
take another quick break. And when we come back, we
wrap things
wrap things up.